Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Creative Hands by She. So in today's tutorial, I will be showing you how to make a crochet shoes. So these are the yarn that I will be using, and I am using 2 strands to make my yarn thicker. So if you have a yarn that is thicker in size, you can use it. But this is what I'm using to make my yarn a bit more bulky. So you can use any acrylic yarn of your choice. These yarns are size 4 acrylic yarn, and I actually got these yarn from Michael. You can use any yarn of your choice, as I stated. So I have here my 6.0 millimeter crochet hook. I also have my darning needle, my stitch marker, and my scissors, and you will also need a measuring tape. So for the brim of the shoes, I will be using this CozyFur to put on top of it. So I went ahead and I actually made one of the shoe, and this is what it looks like. So it is looking super cute. I love the way how it looks. And this one is size 8 to 9. It can actually go up, stretch to a size 10 as well. So it is really easy to manipulate with the size. You can just measure it on your foot as you go along. So guys, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I hope that you will love what you see and you will stay here with me. To my regular viewers and subscribers, thank you so much for always being here, guys. So let's jump in the video. So guys, to begin, we will start off by making a magic ring. So you can make your magic ring however you feel comfortable. This is just the way how I make mine. I normally wrap it around my fingers and pull up a loop. So now that I have done so, I am going to chain 1, and into this ring I am going to put 10 single crochets. So we will be using single crochets for the first part of the shoes, or the foot part, and then going forward for the heel, we will be doing half double crochet. So I'm just going to continue making single crochets until I get to 10, and I'll meet back with you. So guys, and now I have come to the end of making my 10 single crochet, and I am just going to pull on my tail end just to close that part up. So now that I have done so, I'm just going to put this behind. I am now going to work into our first stitch here, and we're going to put 2 single crochet into that stitch. So I am not going to slip stitch and chain 1. I am just going to start my next row. So this is where your stitch marker will come in handy to mark your first stitch. So that's 1. Go back into that same space or same stitch and make another one. Continue doing single crochets, 2 single crochets into each stitch around. You should have a total of 20 at the end of row 2. So guys, and now I have come to the end of row 2 here, and I have a total of 20 stitches. So moving on to row 3, you're going to remove your stitch marker, and for row 3 you will do 3 single crochets. So that's our first one. So that's 1. In the next stitch you will put 1 single crochet, and into the next stitch you will put 1 single crochet. So that's 1 single crochet in separate stitches, and then into the next stitch you will put 2 single crochet. So that's 1 and 2, and you will continue doing this all the way around, putting 3 single crochet, 1, 2 and 3, and then 2 in the next. 1, 2 into the same stitch. So continue doing that right around. You should have a total of 25. So now I have come to the end of row 3, and I have 1 stitch remaining, which that last stitch should be 2 single crochet into that stitch, and that brings you to a total of 25 stitches. So now moving on to row 4, you will do 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So that's 1. Remember to mark your first stitch and continue making 1 single crochet in each stitches around, and I'll see you at the end. So guys, now I have come to the end of row 4 and we're gonna remove our stitch marker. So from row 4 to row 19 you will, from row 5 to row 19 you will do 1 single crochet into each stitch around, and remember to always use your stitch marker so you don't lose your first stitch. So I am going to continue doing that, and depending on how long you're making your shoes, as I stated, you can measure it on your foot as you go along, and once you reach up to the top part of your feet, then you can stop there. So depending on what size your foot is. So I'm just going to continue doing this. At the end, your the front part of your shoes should measure 6.5, so 6.5 inches long. You can, if you're making it smaller, you can probably stop at 6 inches or 5 inches, or if it's even smaller, you can stop at 4 inches, and then you can do the heel. So I will meet you back when I am at the part where I am going to put the heel section. So I'll see you there. So guys, now I have come to the end of making the front part of the shoe, and this is what it looks like so far. So I'm just pressing down. And I'm just going to do the measurement so you can see. So from the tip to here, it is showing 6.5 inches. So that's the 19 rows. So again, if you are making it smaller, you can go less rows. You can probably do a row less or 3 row less and stop like here. But now we are going to move on to making the heel of our shoes. So now we're going to chain 1. You're going to turn your work, and you are going to you're going to half double crochet. You're going to yarn over and go into that first stitch. You're going to half double crochet into 15 stitches. So into the second to last stitch, you will put 2 stitches in that stitch. So I'll meet you back there once I am at my second to last stitch. So that will be stitch number 14. In stitch number 14, you will put 2 half double crochet in that stitch, and then in the last stitch you will put 1. So I'll see you there. So guys, and now I have reached stitch number 14, and I have my first stitch there. I'm going to yarn over, go back into that stitch and add 1 more. So we're just increasing by 1, and then into the last and final stitch, which will be stitch 15, we're going to add our 1 there. So you should have a total of 16 stitches. That is inclusive of the 1 that we add at stitch 14. So this is what the shoe starts to look like. So you can see that this part is now completed, and we're just extending out for the heel part here. So you're going to chain 1, and from row 2 to row 8 you will make half double crochet into each stitch. Once you finish a row, you will chain 1 and turn again and start your next row. So I'm just going to continue doing this, and as I stated, you can measure as you go along, see how many rows measure up to your foot length, and then you can stop there. So you can probably if you're making it smaller, you can stop at row 7 or row 6. This just depending on how big or small you're making your shoes. So I'm going to continue doing this and I'll see you there. So guys, this is what our shoes looks like so far. So you can see that it is taking the form of a shoe, and now we are going to finish off here. I have 1 stitch remaining, so we are going to close the back of our shoes. So you can either fasten off and leave a long tail and use your darning needle to sew this part up, or what you can do is you can use your hook to sew it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna flip your shoes on the inside out like this. So when you turn it back over, it's gonna be like on the correct side. So you're sewing on the inner part. So you're gonna chain 1, and into each stitch on this side and on the other side you are going to make a slip stitch. That is if you're using your hook, but if you're using your darning needle, you can just go ahead and sew it together. So I'm going to continue doing this and I'll see you at the end. So now I have come to the end part here, and I'm just going to go through this last stitch, and then I'm going to chain 1. And before you fasten off, make sure that you pull your shoes over to see if you have sewn it properly. So you can see that all the stitches has been sewn nicely. So now you are going to fasten off. And then you can weave your tail end in. So I'll weave that in afterwards. But what you're going to do is you're going to flip that over like this. And then you are going to join your yarn. So you can either use a smaller hook to help you out here. So you're going to put your hook exactly into the center where you just joined. And you are going to rejoin your yarn. Pull that through, chain 1, and then give it a tie. So now that you have done so, you are going to go into each and every row and you're going to put a stitch. So on this side you should have 8, and on this side you should have 8 stitches as well. So now we are going to go into the top of this first row here. Just kind of go into the extreme top of it and make single crochet. So that's 1, going to the next and make a single crochet. I thought I was using a smaller hook for some reason. And I'm just going to continue doing that right around. Once you get to these stitches here, you're just going to work your regular single crochet on top and go around. So I will meet you once I am back at this part here. So guys, and now we are back, or I am back to where I have started here. So now I am going to slip stitch into our first stitch, pull that together, and this is what our shoes looks like so far. So it's looking super cute. It is now looking like a shoe. And you're gonna chain 1 and go back into that same stitch and make 1 single crochet, and in each and every stitch around, and you're gonna do 2 more rows. If you want your shoes to have a higher top. As this part here, you can add 5 rows up, but I am just gonna do 3 rows. So I'm just gonna continue doing this, and I will see you at the end of my 3 row, and then I will be adding the fur onto the top. So I'll see you there, guys. So guys, now I have come to the end here, and I have my last single crochet left, and I am just going to go ahead and slip stitch here into our first stitch. And before I do that, what I'm going to do is I am just going to join my fur before I slip stitch. Makes it be a bit easier. So I am changing my hook to a size 8, as this yarn here recommend a size 8 hook. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it just like this, inserting my hook into these 2 loops that is facing towards you. And I'm just going to pull down on this one here. I'm going to fasten off, give it a tie, and then I am going to go into that first stitch, which is the one on this side here. And then I'm going to slip stitch. And what we're going to do is we're going to weave these tail ends in as we go along. So we are going to make our first single crochet into the next stitch. So not the one that you slip stitch in, but the other one. And what we're going to do is we are going to be skipping our stitches. So we did 1 there, we're going to skip this stitch, and then we're going to make a single crochet into the next stitch. So we will be skipping stitches as we go along to make our single crochet. We don't want to have too much fur bulging up, so that's the reason why I am skipping in between. So I just did that one, I'm going to skip 1, and then I do another single crochet in the next stitch. So basically you're going to continue doing that right around, and I'll see you at the end. So guys, and now I have come to the end here, and this is what it looks like so far. So it is looking super cozy. We have 1 stitch remaining here, and I'm just gonna put my last single crochet, and I am going to feel for my next stitch, which is this one here. You won't be able to see it, but you can feel for it, and make that slip stitch. So now we're just gonna feel for our stitches, so you can see them. Well, you can feel them. So where you see I'm stuck in my fingers, when you're doing yours, you can know that that's where your stitches is or are. So I'm just gonna go in here, make my next stitch, do the next one, and continue doing that, and I'll see you at the end. So guys, now I have come back to the center part here for our shoes, and I am just gonna slip stitch so you can feel again for this part. You can see where my finger is right there. I am going to slip stitch right there and fasten off. I'm just gonna leave a little bit of tail end so I can weave in this part here. So what I basically do is to just like look for spaces to weave that tail end in so that my shoes can be nice and cozy and it won't come loose. So I'm basically just weaving in as I go along. So I'm just going to continue doing that and I'll see you at the end. So guys, this is the end of our shoes and it is looking super cute and cozy. You can see that it matches the same width and length. So guys, I hope that this tutorial was straightforward and easy for you to follow. Thank you so much for watching guys. And to my regular viewers and subscribers, thanks again. Until next time. Bye.